happy in where they are, because if you get that, it's so just amazing. And I think my biggest weakness is probably maybe saying no or setting limits, because that is something that I struggle with, because I like to take any problem and tackle it.
Thanks so much for sharing, JC. And I think, too, you might have to think about, like, saying no to clients, too. That's something I've had to really think about. I was like, I have to be pretty exclusive now because I can't take as many clients on as I used to. And that might be something to think about. And I think for all of us as coaches, like, saying no, like, it's not a good fit. That's really hard if you have a little bit of a hard time saying no. Thanks for sharing, JC. All right, who's next?
I'll go. I think from a coaching experience standpoint, again, it's a fun, relatively easy topic to dive into. Whether you start with the core motivation piece or whether you introduce the concept of potential leadership around a certain subject matter, they're both things that people can grasp and run with, So I can see using them a lot. For myself, I think the strengths would be just discontent around the status quo, not willing to accept the way they are, vision of things being better. And then the weakness would be the peacemaker side, which is kind of sensitivity to judgment from others. So would have to be diplomatic in my pursuit of change.
Yeah, that could be challenging, Mike, especially if, there's people that see you as a consultant self that really want you to help them in that, and you're like, oh, I'm doing this now.
Right.
Oh, cool. Thanks for sharing. Sarah, what about you?
I love this exercise too. I think it's a neat way of connecting with people too, because like Eddie and I were both 7s, and I felt like, whoa, I get you and you get me, and so it's kind of neat when you can connect with people like that. It's a great tool. I think my strength is it's sort of a double-edged sword. My strength is my enthusiasm, because I get so excited about things, and that sort of lights a fire and sort of sparks a passion to get into things, which gives me like a lot of intrinsic motivation to want to really get into things when I can connect with it. But on the flip side, the weakness would be that it can burn out really fast too. And I'll jump out of things fast without really sticking through to like see where it will go. And so a lot of times in my life, I think I've been the most proud of myself when I actually stuck something out, because it went places that I never really thought it would or didn't expect. And it's a neat growing time. So yeah, that's what I got.
So now that you're aware of that, what do you need to work on inside yourself to be able to commit to things long term or see them through?
I think it's really having that awareness that I do that sometimes, that I'll jump out of things easy, because then I'm like, oh, no. Like, at least stick this one out a little longer to see where it will go. If there's true potential in it and it's really important. So I think if it lines up with my values and is something that is really potentially amazing, then to really stick it out.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Awareness is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Kellen, what about you?
Hi. So I do agree with Sarah that this is like a great way to get to know. It opens the door right up, and then you can just dive in and just really explore these parts of your personality that you may not you may not have ever really done that with anyone. So for me personally, I'm a 1 and I believe a 4. So I have this creative side, and then I have this perfectionist tendency, and those two are always sort of doing battle. And so, but actually I think that's a positive for me when it comes to coaching. If I could recognize that going on in other people, since I've really experienced that myself, because that's where the dynamism is. I think it's like if you've got these two parts of yourself that are really kind of engaged in a struggle, you can learn a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, so interesting. There's so much to learn in a struggle or in a challenge. All right. Eddie, what about you?
Okay.
But you might need to leave your camera off, Eddie. You froze up.
Hello?
Sorry, Kanika, or
Hello?
okay, I can hear you now, Eddie. But I'll have
What?
to go next.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, I can hear you.
Okay. My takeaway is this today is about to be a life coach. I need to be enthusiastic, And yes, I'm number 7. I'm enthusiastic, and I don't see how you can be a life coach if you are not enthusiastic.
Mm.
Because basically what we do is support people, empower people to move on, to move for next level, to self-growth. If we are not enthusiastic, how we gonna do that?
Mm. I disagree with you, Eddie. I think enthusiastic people have an easier time at trusting the process. But really, in order to be a life coach, you have to trust the process, which is what it's really about.
Okay, but what's the process?
Just the process of coaching, or like the process of getting clients, process of building your business, process of building relationships with clients. Like, you have to trust that, and you have to trust yourself. And I think those that are enthusiasts might be easy. It might be easier to trust the process because you're seeing the greener grass on the other side. At least that's my thought. But I think you're onto something there. Like, when you have enthusiasm, it's a lot easier to do things because you're seeing the glass half full. It's easy. It might be easier in some aspects.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Thanks, Eddie. All right, and Kanika, what's your takeaway?
I think it was, for me, I think the personal takeaway was that a strength can be a weakness if you push it too much. So based on that, I think my strength is that I can make things positive, but the negative is that if I push it too much, I stop the effective decision-making process. Or coming up with the best solution because you're always trying to make things positive. So yeah, that's it.
Or sometimes we might be scared to prickle coach or push or challenge our client, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you everyone for your takeaways. So now we're going back to breakout rooms for another 20 minutes. And actually, let's make it 30 minutes because then we'll have enough time for another takeaway around the room. So 15 minutes each this time. And just starting with the idea of, like, what do you think about what you do determines who you are? And if they have a project that they want to be coached on, go ahead and follow the steps outlined. So look at maybe opportunities to create more learning and awareness around your leadership skills, or what you want to develop, and maybe a project. Now that you kind of realize your strengths and weaknesses, what in yourself do you want to develop, and what project, even a little project, might help develop you? Okay, so the goal here is become by doing. Okay, so you guys get another half hour, so 15 minutes each. I'll be in rooms with you, so feel free to ask me anything, but I'm enjoying just hearing you guys' fabulous week 23 coaching. So I'll see you guys back there.